Alright guys, we're up to 11E, we're solving linear equations. What they say in the textbook is that an equation is an incomplete mathematical sentence. Basically when we solve it, we find a value for the pronumeral. So you know how we're saying with algebra you don't always find a number. As soon as they start saying to solve, you are probably going to end up with a number. Now we solve these by undoing the operations that are being done to it. You're going to see in these next 4 worked examples, 4 different examples of how to undo them. Basically, there's only 4 possible ways. We can add the same number to each side of an equation to get rid of it. We can subtract, we can multiply and divide. It'll make more sense once we start doing it, but here we go. First worked example, we've got question A in worked example 13. We've got, let's write it down. So we always write the equation first. We've got x plus 48 equals 75, and we have to solve that for x. That's what they'll probably say to you a lot of the time, solve for x. What we have to do is we have to have a look at it and go, okay, what have they done to x? Well, they had x, and then they added 48. So how do we get back to x? We undo what they did to x. They added 48, so we want to take 48 away. Okay, that'll get us back to x. You can see how that would cancel out that. They would cancel out and you'd be left with just x at the bottom. Now, the important thing to realise is if you do it to that left-hand side, you also have to do it to the right-hand side. So we're going to minus 48 off that side as well. Okay? Because if you added 48 and got 75, you've also got to take off that 48 when you take it off from the left-hand side. So you're going to be left with 27. Okay? And that's all there is to it. It's one step. Now you'll notice that I've written in blue my working of what I'm doing there. Okay? You don't necessarily have to write it. I would recommend that you do, because if you stuff it up, at least you've got that showing that you knew what you were trying to do. Sorry, just having a drink. Okay, the next one, and I'll stay on this page to actually do them. The next one, B, so that's A, and we'll go B. The question says y minus 43 equals 56. Now you should be able to look at that and go, well, I can see what they've done to y. They've taken away 43. So I'm going to be a nice person and add it back on. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to say, well, if I do it to that side, I have to do it to this side as well. Do it to the left, you've got to do it to the right. Keeps it equal. That's where equation comes from. Okay, and then that will give you y, because those two cancel each other out, and that's the whole point. And then 56 plus 43 equals 99. So that's question B. Nice and easy. Question C. Just put a line down there and a line across there so you know where I'm going. C. Let's write down what the question is. 7D equals 91. Okay, this one starts off, it's not as obvious what they've done, but think about it. What does 7D mean? It means 7 times D. So what have they done to D? Times it by 7. So what do you want to do? You want to do the opposite. You want to divide it by 7. If you do it to the left, do it to the right. Divide it by 7. Okay? So you end up with a wonderful answer of D equals 91 over 7. Now, if you chuck that into your calculator and you got it to 2 decimal places, if it asked you to, that's fine. 91 divided by 7 will give you 13. Or if it's an even number, you don't need to go to 2 decimal places. There we go. Okay, so that's question C. And last one, we'll do question D. Just down here, because I've got space for it. What is question D? Q over 13 equals 29. Okay, so the question is Q over 13 equals 29. 29. So once again, you ask yourself, what have they done to Q? Q over 13 means Q divided by 13. So they've divided by 13. How do we undo it? Times it by 13. And you do that to both sides. Okay? So that will give you Q, because once again, that and that cancel each other out. That's the point. And then you do 29. I'll actually write it out. 29 times 13, which equals a big number. 13 equals 377. And that's all there is to it. Now you'll notice when I did my working out, I haven't put an equal sign in there in any of those, because you're not actually doing the equation. All you're doing is writing down what you are going to do. Okay, that's about it on that one.